Hello, it's Katie Colson here. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about all of the physical TBR that I am bringing in to 2023. Now there's quite a few books, so we're not going to talk about the summary of all of them because we don't want to die of old age during this video. Do you know what I'm saying? But also, there's going to be books because we're halfway through December when I'm filming this. I better finish a couple more books in 2022. So I'm going to cut out any footage of me talking about books that I ended up finishing in 2022. So if you see books behind me that you don't hear me talk about, no, you didn't. What I'm hoping to do is that at the end of 2023, I'm going to come back to this video and have ended up reading 85%. I feel like 85% is a good goal to reach. You know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize these by when they came into my TBR. So going from oldest to the newest to my collection, or at least as well as I can remember when they came into my collection. Now, we are not starting out strong because I'm not sure if I'm going to read this, and it has been on my TBR for years. Regretting You by Colin Hoover. I found this in a little free library at my old apartment, and it's really floppy. It's in great condition. The writing is really big, but I'm not a big romance person. And I mean, I've had some hits with Colin Hoover, but I don't know if this is my thing. I'm sure this is great. I'm sure this book is great. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Isn't this one where there was supposed to be a sequel? Or is that other one? The one that's super long. The Name of the Wind? And this is The Shadow of the Wind. Okay, I've heard many people say this is absolutely fantastic. I'm so intimidated by this book. I'm so intimidated. The writing is small and it looks really intelligent. It looks like I'm freaking stupid. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared. I mean, I want to read it, but also I'm really scared to read it. And it seems really historical and dense. I don't know. It's been on my TBR for a long time. This will happen because even though I've had people tell me that they don't think it's going to be my thing, it's still so highly touted as being such a phenomenal book that I need to read it. And it's Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. Look at this. Hold on. Are you kidding me? That's stunning. It's stunning and it's so small, but I've heard that it's super atmospheric and really, really good. So I need to give it a shot. This has been on my TBR for so long and I keep putting it off because I'm not a big sci-fi person. And then I also haven't been super into fantasy and I've been getting back into it recently. But this is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson and this is a YA sci-fi. It's a series and I know Brandon Sanderson is so highly loved. I did read Mistborn and really liked it, but stupidly never continued with the series. What was I doing? But, I read The Final Empire. But anyway, this is a YA and I thought at the time okay, well, this can kind of get me into it, get me into sci-fi, and I'm still holding on to that hope. But I don't know if I'm ever going to end up reading it. Actually, I should put the hardbacks here. And then the paperbacks there, right? Yes. I swear I'm going to read this eventually. I swear. The Perfect Child by Lucinda Berry. I have had this on so many summer ween, winter ween, weekend ween TBRs and never got to it. And then Gabby read it before me. I thought I was really going to get to it first. She read it before me and she loved it. I need to read this. Listen, this looks so freaking good. And people have told me that if they like The Push, then they'll also like this. And I love The Push. It's about a creepy kid who might be evil. It's a mystery thriller. It's a psychological thriller. It's whatever. I need to buckle down and read this book. I swear. My coworker has been begging me to read this for so long. He gave me this book a year ago because he and I ended up having an argument at work. And he came in 2 days later with this book and he was like, I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Whatever. Take this book as an apology. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. That's really nice. What? And he said that he read this a long time ago and he absolutely adored it. And he really wants to know what I think. He told me what it was about at some point. I know it's about outer space. And that's all I know. And listen, I have to read it. He gifted me this book as an apology. I have to read it. And then I have Revelator by Daryl Gregory. Now here's the thing. I love this cover and I saw it in the horror section of Barnes & Noble and was like, that's a horror? What? I think it's YA, but okay. I tried to read it earlier this year and I didn't get very far in. I think I got 25 pages maybe. And just wasn't really feeling it and put it down, but I don't feel like that was enough time to read the book to know if I was going to like it or not. So I need to give it another chance. So y'all let me know, if you've read this, do you think I'm gonna like it? Now, this is a book that was sent to me by Danielle from The Literature on Instagram, and this is Lies in Bone by Natalie Simons, or Simmons, I'm not totally sure, but she said that she really thought that I would like this, and I love, one, how floppy it is, and two, how giant the writing is, and I don't know why I keep putting this off. Like, I do want to read it. What's my deal? I keep putting off reading this book because I want to read it for a specific video, and then I never end up doing it because most of the books that I want to read for this video, I've already read. But this is Sweet Blood by Pete Houtman, and this was sent to me so lovingly by Courtney. Like, is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? It's so adorable. And she sent it to me because this has type 1 diabetes representation, which is what I want to do a video for, but I've already read Arsenic and Adobo, and I've already read Blood Sugar. So there's not many books left that have type 1 representation. But this is supposed to be about basically where this girl has type 1 diabetes and she thinks that vampires are actually diabetics and that that's why like them drinking blood is basically like insulin. And this is kind of a fan fiction of Draco Malfoy and this girl, because literally like the guy's name's Draco, okay? And her name is Lucy Sabo. Listen, it's tiny, it's cheesy, it's about Draco. I'm into it. Within These Walls by Anaya Allborn, I've been wanting to read something by Anaya Allborn, and this is so freaking chunky. Like, do you see this? How many pages is this? This is like 450 pages. Good Lord. So all I know about this, because again, I'm not going to go over the summary of all of these, but this is about a journalist or a writer who gets the opportunity to interview this really, really famous like mass murderer / cult leader. I don't know, but you said cult leader and you said serial killer, and honestly, say less. Stephen King's The Green Mile, or The Green Mile. Not even close, Katie. Not even close. It's green, and they're walking, and all of a sudden it's just The Green Mile. It's called The Long Walk, okay? And I'm not cutting that out because I'm embarrassed of myself. So The Long Walk by Stephen King, I've been very interested in. One, because it's short, and like in what universe does King write short books? Like practically never. Okay, this is very interesting. This is about a group of young boys who are on this like contest to see who can walk the farthest, and if you stop or slow down, you just get killed, is what I'm gonna assume. It's a horror, it's Stephen King. There's no way they're just gonna get sent back home. They die. I'm very intrigued to read this book, and I can't wait. These are ones that I'm presuming I will read in 2022. But I don't know, and it's because I'm going to read Middle Game in 2022 because it's my Smut Salon book club pick for the month of December, but we have the sequel, Seasonal Fears, as well as the 2 companion novellas, Along the Saltwise Sea and Over the Woodward Wall. Both say that they're by A. Deborah Baker, but really they're all by Shauna Maguire because A. Deborah Baker is a children's author in this series. And I've heard Seasonal Fears is not that good, so I'm like really been putting off reading this. That's why I'm rereading Middle Game to like force myself into this. So I mean, I hope these are good, but I literally have not heard a single good thing about this. I'm going to be wildly off base with the summary of this, I'm sure. But this is Salem's Lot by Stephen King. And do you see this? Are you kidding me right now? The floppability. It feels like water in my hands. It's amazing. Amy, or Tainted Crimson, my admin on Patreon, who is freaking amazing, sent me this, as well as The Hunting of Hill House, and they have the same opening in the book, which was really cool. And she said that I love vampires, and she thought I would really like this because this is Stephen King's take on vampires. Now, I'm not totally sure if these are actually vampires. That's why I'm saying I'm probably wrong, or if it's just vampire-esque. But I have a hit or miss with Stephen King. Never really like huge misses, but sometimes I'm like, okay, we get it. Like you can say the N-word less, and like you can talk a little bit less too, you know, you can get to the point. But sometimes he hits. Sometimes he hits. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. And then I have a newer release, which is Stoneblind by Natalie Haynes. And this was actually sent to me from Waterstones, like from the UK, but it didn't have a note saying who it was from. So if that's you, please reach out to me. I would love to thank you personally. Also, these sprayed edges are absolutely stunning. And I do love Medusa. Hi. This is supposed to be like about Medusa's story, and I don't know much more about it than that, but I have heard several booktubers talk about this new release and that they were really excited for it. And I'm like, say less. Like, it's Medusa and has beautiful sprayed edges. I'm gonna read it. I swear, if I don't read this in December 2022, I'm gonna be so upset with myself. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. I want to read this so bad, and I don't know why I've been putting it off. This is literally the perfect time. It's winter. Okay, if I don't read it in December 2022, I better read it in January 2023. This is a cozy, really cute, soft little fantasy, and apparently it's also a sapphic romance with this girl. And I need to read it. Like, everybody's saying this is like one of their favorite books of all time, and I need to get on the hype train. 2 more books I swore I was going to read in December. Did it happen? If you're seeing this, apparently not. We have Before the Coffee Gets Cold and Tales from the Cafe, and these are about a coffee shop where you go and you can visit anyone that is like living or dead. I mean, presumably only dead, but you can talk to them and have a conversation with them, but you have to come out of it before the coffee gets cold or you're stuck there forever. And you're following, like, I'm pretty sure it's just short stories put together of like a bunch of different people dealing with this, and I've heard people sob their eyes out while reading it, and I can't wait. And then I would love to reread Legendborn by Tracy Deonn so that I can pick up the new release, Bloodmarked. So this is in the Legendborn cycle. Interesting. I don't know how many books there are going to be. It's like an Arthurian, not reimagining. It's like an Arthurian sequel almost. But I really enjoyed this book, but I wasn't like totally sure how much I loved it. So I need to reread this to get into this book. And I haven't heard anybody's reviews of this. So I'm very intrigued, but goddamn, look at these covers. Are they not stunning? And the last 3 fiction books are going to be the Book of the Month books that I got in the last couple months that I'm still very excited for, that I haven't ended up reading yet. The first one being Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. This is the writer of These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends, which I did enjoy, and I think I'm really gonna like this because it's about like spies and like rivals or enemies to lovers, and I'm like, hell yeah, I love a heist. I love a rivals to lovers. Sign me the fuck up. But then we also have All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. This doesn't come out until January, so I'm probably not going to read it in December. We'll see. But this is a mystery thriller. I don't know too much about it, but I remember when I read the summary months and months ago, I put it on my most anticipated reads, so clearly something was exciting about that. And then I'm so happy about this one. Okay, Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane. I read The Charm Offensive and didn't like it, but this summary, it's literally just like, girl meets boy, but then girl meets boy's sister. And Erin, oh my God, from Booked and Busy, said she cried multiple times reading this book. And I couldn't hear higher praise. I can't even imagine higher praise. So I'm gonna be reading this, if not in December, in January. Oh my God, I forgot 2 fiction books, so let me tack those on at the end. I have The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell, and I also have I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. So this one I had heard doesn't have an audiobook, it's translated, and Gabby said that it was like very historical and slow. She didn't think I was gonna like it, but I am willing to give it a shot. I love this cover and it feels amazing. This one feels even better. Oh my God. I read like the first 20 pages of this and then ended up putting it down to do another readathon. I don't know what it was, but this is like about these girls that have been living in this bunker and they've never met a man. Like, it's just a bunch of girls like living in a bunker and I don't even know why, but I'm still gonna read them. That's gonna wrap it up for all of the fiction books that I have on my Physical TBR, and now we're gonna talk about all the manga that I still have on my TBR. Most of them are series, so I'm only gonna put like the first volume right here because they won't all fit. And you're gonna see why, because look at this. This is one series that I need to read. Now it's completed, God bless. But this is 20 volumes of The Promised Neverland, which is a horror fantasy manga, and it's absolutely outstanding. Don't watch the anime, I've heard it's literal trash. But this is so freaking good. Now I read the first volume like 3 times this year, honestly, but I need to go back and re-tab because I didn't like the way that I was tabbing it, and then reread 2 through 7, which I have previously read this year, and then finish out 8 through 20. Can I do all of that in December? Absolutely not. And then I have volumes 2 and 3 of Moriarty the Patriot, and I am planning on getting more volumes of this, but these are the ones that I have on my Physical TBR right now. This is so freaking good. So imagine like the BBC Sherlock, you know, like Moriarty, like the bad guy or whatever. This is like his origin story, but imagine if Moriarty was like super freaking smart, as he is, obviously, and he was like an assassin for hire, but assassin for hire to like rid the world of bad people. And it's hot. He's hot. Like, is he not hot? Is he not hot? Like, they are hot, okay? And it's so like fun and dynamic. And I've only read the first one, but I gave it 5 glowing stars. Like, I absolutely love the first one. So I definitely cannot wait to continue with this series. Another continuing series is Komi Can't Communicate. I have volume 3, 4, and 5. Now, the first 2 volumes I thought were good. They're really sweet, but I wasn't obsessed with them enough to want to keep them. So I'm kind of waffling between just reading these and ending the series on this note, or to continue picking them up from my library. I'm not totally sure. This is really cute, but I don't know if I love it enough to continue with the series. Similarly, something that I'm not totally sure about, but I feel much better about than the last one is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I have volumes 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4 was so hard to get my hands on. Or was it 3? One of these I could not get my hands on for the longest time. But I read volume 1 and I really liked it. And I picked up volume 2. And even though every time I picked it up, I loved what I was reading, I didn't feel compelled to continue, and I don't know why, but so many manga tubers have been raving about the series and saying it's absolutely amazing and that there is a really deep overarching plot that comes in a little bit later. So I do really need to pick these up because I feel like once I finish volume 2, I'm gonna be hooked. And then I have volumes 1 through 5 of Jujutsu Kaisen, in which I am obsessed with these covers. Like, do you see this? This is fucking stunning. Like, I love it. But this guy that I work with loves this, and he said he honestly thinks that I should just watch the anime maybe, which I'm like, damn, what do I do? Like, shit. But I really like this. I read the first one and I put it back on the TBR because it's been so long since I read the first one that I need to reread it to continue with the series. But as of what I've read so far, I really enjoyed it. Another series that my coworker said I definitely should just watch the anime. Like, no questions about it, should definitely watch the anime, and that is Demon Slayer. So I have volumes 1 through 5, and this is a little bit of an older series, and I heard that it kind of develops as it goes on, but this is something that when I've seen clips from the anime, it looks so good, and my coworker told me that a lot of the things that make the anime so amazing are not actually in the book, or that you don't get to see in the manga. So I'm not sure. I don't know. So I think I'm going to give a couple of these a try and then watch the first couple episodes of the anime and see how I feel based on that. Same coworker has been begging me to either read the manga or watch the anime because he's literally obsessed and says both of them are fantastic, and it's Chainsaw Man. I'm so excited. I've literally been putting this off because I know I'm going to be obsessed with it. Like, I know it's going to be amazing. Like, do you see these covers? Are you fucking kidding me right now? That's stunning. Stunning. I am obsessed. Oh my God. I want to, and he's been showing me clips of the anime and it's so good. It's so well done. But like, I need to read it. I need to read it. I will read you. You have no idea how much I'm going to be obsessed with you. I'm scared to jump into this series because 1, they're so expensive, 2, so nostalgic, and I don't want it to break my heart the way the second half of Death Note did, but that's Full Metal Alchemist, the Full Metal editions. I'm really hoping that the day after Christmas, Barnes & Noble has that half-off hardbacks book sale again, because I'm gonna go and buy every single one they have. Like, look at these covers. Are they not beautiful? Now, they're bricks. They are so heavy. They're so heavy. But look at that shininess. I'm obsessed. I don't know. I just remember really loving it as a kid, and I really want to get into the manga. The last manga that I need to read is also one of the craziest gifts I've ever been given. So Robin, if you're out there, thank you so much. And it's Berserk, the deluxe edition, volume 1. Do you see this? I'm so intimidated. Like, I can't tell you how intimidated I am, and I can't show you any of these pages because it's graphic. Like, this is wrapped in the story. It is wrapped. I don't know much about this. I know the main character's name's Guts and that it's really gory, and I think it's about a war. I don't know, but literally everyone is obsessed with this manga series, like literally obsessed. And there's a bajillion of them. I'm pretty sure, didn't the guy who wrote this, like, did he pass away? I'm pretty sure he passed away. And that somebody else is finishing it? I don't know. Sorry, that might be fake news. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm not totally sure. Kentaro Miura? I don't know, but so many people have been begging me to read this and being like, have you read it yet? Have you read it yet? Have you read it yet? And I haven't, but I will. Okay, that is gonna wrap it up for all of my physical TBR. I am hoping that there's some of these that I had to cut out because I did end up finishing them in 2022, but if not, that would be funny. So hopefully I am watching this again at the end of 2023 and all of these have been read, or at least 85%. If so, I'm looking at myself in the future and giving myself a high five because I do believe in myself. But if you've gotten this far into the video, what emoji should you leave? You know what? Is there a chainsaw? There's gotta be. Is there a chainsaw? If there isn't a chainsaw, leave something chainsaw adjacent if you've gotten this far into the video. If there's any of these that you think I really need to prioritize, let me know in the comments down below. Also down below, if you want to follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, Patreon, anything of the like, those links will be down below, as well as a myriad of other links to help support this channel in many ways. I want to thank all of you so much for being with me in the year of 2022 and for following and continuing with me into the year of 2023. Thank you so much. I hope you're all having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having in whatever part of the world you are currently having it in. And I will see you in a video coming very soon. Bye.